Hi, I'm Rob Groves from Squire's Kitchen in Farnham. I'm going to show you a simple dessert recipe that you can do at home. Hi, I'm going to show you today how to make a really easy banana cake. I've got all the ingredients laid out. This recipe takes about 15 to 20 minutes to make and an hour to an hour and 20 to cook. The quantity for what we're going to make today will either make 2 medium loaf tins or 1 medium-sized round cake tin. Okay, unwrap the butter. It should be room temperature as it mixes better. Cut it into little cubes and throw it into your kitchen mixer. If you don't have one of these mixers, you can do it by hand, but it takes a little bit longer. Okay, once the butter's in the mixer, add in your sugar. Turn your machine on and allow your butter and sugar to mix together. And while that's mixing, open up your vanilla pod. Okay, split open your vanilla pod and scrape out the seeds. And then scrape up all the seeds and put them in with your butter and your sugar. Okay, now we've got to mix this on a medium speed until it's thick, pale and creamy. And this can take 3 or 4 minutes depending on whether you're using a machine or doing it by hand. Okay, now it's starting to come to the stage you want it to. If you do find that it gets stuck to the edge, then open your bowl and just scrape around the edge here like this. I'll just show you what I mean. So take it all around the edge, remove it from the edges, and put it back into the middle of the bowl, and then keep beating it. Okay, it's now thick and creamy, everything's incorporated and it's got a bit of air into the mix. We've now got to add our eggs one at a time and make sure that the egg is completely incorporated into the mix before you add the next one. So I'll turn the machine back on and we'll add them in. Again, you may need to scrape around the edges just to make sure it's all getting mixed together at the same time. Okay, so all 4 of our eggs are now incorporated into the mix, and you've got a nice light cake batter. Okay, take your sour cream and again add half at a time and incorporate that as well. The sour cream's lovely in this recipe because it's got a little bit of sourness, whereas the banana and the sugar and everything else is very sweet. So it just brings a bit of balance to the cake. So put the rest of that in and make sure it's completely incorporated through the mix. Okay, the best bananas are the darker ones. They're riper, they've got a better flavour. So you take your 3 bananas and peel them and break them up into your blender. And then add in your golden syrup with the bananas as well. And then blend these to a paste. Scrape away from the edges to make sure all your pieces of banana are mashed up. Take your pureed banana and syrup mix and scrape that into your batter. And take your flour and a sieve and just to get rid of any large lumps in the flour, and it also puts air into the flour as well, which will help the cake to rise. A lot of people say you should fold in with a spatula, but I find the best thing to use for folding in is a whisk. It's just easier, and you can incorporate all the elements together to get your final cake mix. There we go. And there we have our banana cake batter. Just folding it in, making sure you don't knock any of the air out that you've put in there by whisking together the butter and the sugar. We've got enough mix here to do either one large round cake, or I'm going to do a loaf tin, and this mix will make 2 of these. I've cut some strips of baking paper to correspond with the width and the length of the tin. Make sure they fit, and then just trim them up and line them inside your tin. Same with this one, and then just trim it up and push it inside your tin. So effectively you're making a crisscross, and then that's going to go into the tin and provide a seal that's completely non-stick. And take your cake batter, and like I said, this is enough to make 2 of these, but we're just going to make 1 today. There we go. And then give it a tap, just to level it out, and that's ready to go in the oven on 170 degrees for about an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, I've had the banana cake that I've made out the oven now for about 20 minutes, and it's cool enough to touch, so I'm just going to turn it out onto a wire rack to let it cool completely. Ooh. Okay, the banana cake's turned out. When I took it out of the oven, I put a knife into it and pulled it out, and it was clean, so I knew it was cooked. It's now come to warm temperature, still warm, but I can turn it out, and now we'll leave that to come to room temperature before we serve it. And that's how to make an easy banana cake.